Hi guys, Tanya here with Fowler Family Farm. And today we are going to be making Dr. Pepper chili. I'm here in the kitchen. The first Wednesday of every month, our church gets together and we do what we call a family table. And we all bring food and fellowship together and eat together and do a quick Bible study at the end of the night. This month our theme is chili, and we're gonna do kind of a little chili cook-off. So my favorite kind of chili is Dr. Pepper chili, and that is a recipe that I got from Memaw. And it has been a favorite around our house with my kids since they were born. I don't like real hot chili. I prefer sweet chili, and I don't like beans in my chili. So we have a recipe here that is not hot and it has no beans. It does taste like chili, but it's not hot chili. So let's go over the recipe. I'm gonna double this recipe because I wanna keep some at home so that we can eat it through the week, maybe this weekend. I wanna be able to take as much as we can to the church. The way we're gonna do this is the recipe calls for 2 pounds of hamburger meat, but since we're gonna double the recipe, we're gonna double everything. So I'm gonna read what the recipe says, and then I'll tell you that that is gonna be doubled. Memaw's Dr. Pepper chili first starts off with hamburger meat, and this is the fresh hamburger meat that we got from our butcher steer. I've got 2 packages of 2 pounds each, so that's a double. So it calls for 2 pounds. So we have 4 pounds. It calls for chopped fresh onion. I do not have onion, so I'm going to do minced onion. Same thing with garlic. I do not have fresh garlic with me today, so I'll be doing the minced garlic. So it calls for 2 pounds of hamburger meat, a 1/2 cup of chopped onion, 1 chopped clove, garlic clove, and we're just going to do minced garlic and minced onions, a tablespoon of salt, a can of tomato paste, which since we're going to double it, we have 2 cans of tomato paste, 2 cups of Dr. Pepper, which is about a can. So I have 2 cans of Dr. Pepper here. 1 cup of water, we'll double that. 2 tablespoons of chili powder, we'll double that. A tablespoon of paprika, we'll double that. An eighth of a teaspoon of oregano, we have those. And a teaspoon of ground pepper. It also calls for 2 cups of beans, which I do not do. And it used to do 3 tablespoons of chili powder, and I only do 2 because I don't like it really, really hot. So that's what I do. So the first thing we're gonna be doing is browning our hamburger meat, our onions, our garlic, and we're gonna break up that meat really, really fine because I don't like big chunks of meat in my chili. I want it all uniform, if that makes sense. And I like it really, really thin. I don't like big chunks of it. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna brown the hamburger meat, the onion, and the garlic, and we're gonna mix that in with the salt, the pepper at first, and get all that browned together, and then we're going to drain that meat. Now, this is a 80-20 hamburger meat, so there probably isn't gonna be a whole lot to drain. So just stay tuned. I'll show you the final product of the meat with all the spices in it. Okay, so here we are at the stove with our pan. I'm getting ready to put in the hamburger meat, and I always use this little thing from Pampered Chef. It's like it like breaks up the hamburger meat to make it nice and uniform. Packaging off. So the way this works is you just put it down in there and then give it a twist, just like that. And it breaks everything up. So this is 4 pounds of hamburger meat. I'll make it all in one pot, and then I'll go ahead and save some out for the house and then take the rest up to the church. Here we are with a cup of chopped onion, and that's going to go in the pot with the hamburger meat. Okay, what I like to use is this little thing I bought at Walmart, and it is a chopper. It does big and small, if you can see that. Those are like blades. So I just lay it on top of my pan like this, and I cut my onion and put my onion in, and then just do like that, and it chops it up nice and fast, just like that. And it comes out in pretty small little pieces too, so I kind of like that because I don't like a whole lot of onions, but I do like onion flavor. So, and it makes nice work of chopping onions. So there is the onions, and it goes in with the hamburger meat. So we'll fry that all up together, and we will did a minced garlic, 1/8 of a teaspoon times 2 is 1/4, so we'll do 1/4 of a teaspoon. Love the garlic. You can't really go wrong with garlic. You smell? Yummy. This is the reason that I don't like baking, is because with baking, you literally have to have the right everything and the right amounts, and that's just not me. I like to experiment with different things, and if I've tried a recipe for the first time, I usually follow it pretty evenly, or pretty religiously. But I've made this so many times that I know what you can get away with and what you can't. We're gonna cook all those up, and we'll come right back after this is nice and brown. Here I am just chopping up the hamburger meat into really fine pieces. I don't like any big thick chunks. Alright, so I'm going to give this just a couple more minutes to brown. It's still looking a little bit light colored, so I want it to brown a little bit more before I start adding the other spices and the tomato paste and all that stuff. So I'll be right back with you. Okay, so this is the strainer, and then underneath is a pan, and that's going to catch the grease at the bottom. So, and then I'll strain it into a jar with a lid on it. And if you guys have an easier way to strain hamburger meat, I'd be more than happy to do something different. This is just how I've always done it. Okay, so I'll take that and let it drain for a couple minutes, and then I will pour it back into my bowl. And I'm pretty well done with the Pampered Chef thing, because that's really all you can do with it. You can't really stir anything with it or anything like that. So, and then I'll clean that up in just a minute. I try to clean while I'm cooking, just, so I don't have to do it all at once after. So we're gonna take this back over to the stove. So Braxton's not cooking today because he is not feeling all that good right now. He feels like he has, I don't know, he's got a sore throat, so I think it's his allergies. We're gonna turn on the heat. Oh, there's Braxton. Braxton, say hi. Everyone is wondering where you're at, I'm sure. So I told him you're not feeling well. So then we've got salt, pepper, tomato paste, and water. A teaspoon of pepper, so we'll do 2 teaspoons of pepper. I'm glad I didn't put that in there. Somebody has put cinnamon and sugar in my pepper shaker, so I'm really glad I didn't put that in there. All right, so this is 2 teaspoons here. 2 teaspoons, yes. And a tablespoon of paprika, so we'll do 2 tablespoons. a half of a teaspoon of oregano. Yes, I washed my hands. And yep, that's about a half. 4 tablespoons of chili powder. 4 of these of chili powder. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2. 1 small can of tomato paste, and it is 6 ounces. Small one. Like that. So 2 of those because we're doubling. Alright. And mix that in there. And you just mix it up real good. Make sure this tomato paste gets on all the hamburger meat. Make sure everything's nice and mixed up. And I will let this simmer for about an hour and a half. It's always better the second day, obviously, because everything that, whenever you add ingredients to things, it marries together over 24 hours. And so I think chili's always better the second day. So we're going to turn that down. Alright, so we're going to bring that to a boil, and that should thicken everything up. So I'm going to bring it up to a 7, let it boil, then I'll take it back down to a simmer and put the lid on it, and we will simmer it for at least a half an hour, but I think I'm going to do for an hour and a half because we've got it's 4 o'clock, we've got to be at church at 5:30, so I got a little bit of time, so maybe an hour. So for those of you who think that it's really hard to make chili, it's really not. It's a pretty simple process. It doesn't take very long as you have, you know, the ingredients that you need, and you don't have to go down to your mother-in-law's house and get it. It happens a lot. Thank goodness she's down there. We will pick back up with this video at our church.